Welcome to the legendary USS Iowa BB-61, one of the most famous battleships in American naval history. Today, the USS Iowa is permanently docked as a museum at the LA waterfront in San Pedro, next to the Los Angeles World Cruise Terminal. The museum is located at 250 South Harbor Boulevard, Berth 87, San Pedro, California 90731. Parking is easy and convenient in the adjacent LA World Cruise Terminal parking lot, just a short walk from the ship's entrance. Parking is free for the first hour, then $2 per additional hour, with a daily maximum charge. Rates may change, so it's always a good idea to check before your visit. With plenty of parking available, and the massive battleship waiting just ahead, our adventure aboard the historic USS Iowa begins now. We're now walking across the bridge toward the legendary battleship Iowa, BB-61, one of the most famous warships in U.S. naval history. As we get closer, you can really feel the scale and presence of this massive floating museum. Ahead of us is the main entrance, where we'll meet the friendly museum staff and collect our entry tickets before starting our tour inside.
There's going to be a lot of climbing, and you're coming from too far away if you live close by. They're from Goleta, so
Hi.
Yeah, got all the options right on the top row. Just let me know what to get for you. Just know that we normally recommend an hour and a half to 2 hours to do our tour. We need everyone off. So we close and lock the front gate at 4, but we need everyone off the ship by actually a little bit before 5. We have an event on the Fantel as well as a bunch of kids staying overnight. So we have to be super strict. So
Any exception for us?
No, we need everyone off essentially 5 minutes before 5 o'clock.
Okay, got it. No problem.
Which one do? We've now received our entry passes and stepped onto the main deck of the battleship Iowa BB-61. The museum has clearly marked pathways across the entire ship, making the tour easy to follow and explore. As we walk along, we can already see the enormous gun turrets and launch systems up close, truly massive structures that make you feel incredibly small standing beside them. We are now walking toward the front of the battleship Iowa BB-61 to experience its incredible forward view. As we move along the main deck, you can really see how long and open the ship is, stretching far ahead like a floating city of steel. Along the edges of the deck, 50 caliber machine guns are mounted at the corners, showing how this ship was built for defense in real combat situations. Standing here gives a true sense of scale. The massive gun turrets in front of us look overwhelming up close, making you feel extremely small, almost like a bird standing next to a giant structure. My mom and I pause for a moment to take in the power, history, and engineering of this legendary battleship. Moving forward along the deck, we now get an open view of the vast ocean and the huge harbor surrounding the battleship Iowa BB-61. In the distance, we can see a massive container ship being actively loaded, showing how busy and powerful this port really is. The contrast between the historic battleship and modern commercial shipping is truly incredible. Standing here feels surprisingly peaceful. Despite the ship's military history, this spot offers a perfect place to pause and take in the surroundings. The USS Iowa sits calmly in the harbor, giving visitors a unique mix of history, ocean views, and relaxation all in one place. We are now walking along the guided pathway leading us inside the battleship Iowa BB-61. The marked route makes it easy to explore as we move deeper into this historic warship. I've been really looking forward to this moment, excited to finally step inside and experience its history up close. Every step brings a sense of anticipation as we get closer to the interior sections. This is going to be an incredible journey through time. We are now inside the battleship Iowa BB-61, and the first impression is truly impressive. The ship has been extremely well maintained, preserving its history while allowing visitors to experience it up close. Walking through the interior, you can clearly see how everything was designed for function and efficiency during active service. On the right side, there is a small kitchen area used to prepare meals for the crew, along with a vessel washing and cleaning section nearby. These compact spaces show how hundreds of sailors manage daily life on board. It's fascinating to see how every corner of the ship had a purpose, giving us a real glimpse into life at sea on this legendary battleship. Inside the battleship Iowa BB-61, we come across a display that showcases its long and remarkable history. On a show table, there are preserved photos and records highlighting the ship's journey through different eras, especially World War II and beyond. One key moment shown is the USS Iowa departing Tokyo Harbor in 1945 after Japan's surrender, marking the end of World War II and its historic role in that period. We also see records of the ship being recalled during the Korean War in 1951, returning to active service when needed, and later being recommissioned during the Cold War era. Each photo tells a powerful story of service across generations, showing how this battleship remained an important part of naval history. Walking through these displays makes the experience even more meaningful inside this legendary ship. Here we can see a world map showing the remarkable voyages of the battleship Iowa, BB-61. The marked routes trace its journeys across the world's oceans during World War II, the Korean War, and the Cold War. It's amazing to see how this legendary battleship served across so many parts of the world. We're now entering the Executive Officers Lounge aboard the Battleship Iowa, BB-61. This space has a comfortable and welcoming feel, with couches, a television, and a relaxing atmosphere. It's a fascinating glimpse into where senior officers could unwind and take a break during long deployments at sea. We're now looking through a small opening that leads to the lower level of the Battleship Iowa, BB-61. This passage was once used by officers to move between decks, but today it is closed off and barricaded for visitors. Nearby, you can also see an original wall-mounted telephone that was used for internal communication throughout the ship. It's a fascinating reminder of how the crew stayed connected and coordinated operations long before modern communication systems. Moving forward, we come across the Horseshoe Officers' Quarters, giving us another glimpse into the living spaces aboard the Battleship Iowa, BB-61. Right next to this area, we can see the officers' restroom and shower facilities, which have been very well maintained and preserved. The museum has also added recorded sounds that recreate the atmosphere of the past, including the sounds of officers using the shower area with music playing in the background. These small details make the experience feel more realistic and help visitors imagine what daily life was like on board this historic battleship. As we slowly continue walking through the interior of the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, we discover more areas that provide a fascinating look into the daily life of the officers who served on this legendary vessel. Along the pathway, we come across the officers' cabinets and storage areas, which have been carefully preserved and maintained over the years. Seeing these spaces up close gives us a better understanding of how officers organized their personal belongings and managed their daily routines while living on board during long missions at sea. The attention to detail in preserving these areas is truly impressive. From the furniture arrangement to the small equipment and fixtures, everything helps recreate the atmosphere of the ship during its active service years. As we move further, we also notice a narrow tunnel opening that leads down toward the lower levels of the battleship. This passage was part of the complex network connecting different sections of the ship, allowing crew members to move between decks and perform their duties. Unfortunately, this area is closed and not accessible to visitors. Even though we cannot enter, just seeing this opening gives us a glimpse of how massive and complicated the internal structure of this historic battleship really is. As we continue following the yellow arrows, we make our way up and down the narrow stairways that connect the different levels of the Battleship Iowa, BB-61. Every staircase leads to another section of the ship, revealing just how enormous and complex this legendary vessel really is. It almost feels like walking through a maze, with passageways, compartments, and decks extending in every direction. As we explore further, it's easy to appreciate the incredible engineering that went into designing this battleship. Every ladder, hallway, and room was carefully planned to maximize space while allowing the crew to move efficiently throughout the ship during operations. Considering that this vessel was built more than 80 years ago, the level of craftsmanship and attention to detail is truly remarkable. The deeper we go, the more we realize that the USS Iowa was much more than just a warship. It was a floating city designed to support hundreds of sailors while carrying some of the most powerful naval weapons of its time. Walking through these historic corridors gives us a newfound respect for the engineers, builders, and crew who brought this incredible machine to life. It's an unforgettable experience, and one of the highlights of touring this legendary battleship. As we move further through the battleship Iowa, BB-61, we come across two large naval guns positioned high above the deck, ready to defend the ship during combat. Nearby, powerful searchlights and observation binoculars are mounted at strategic points, allowing the crew to monitor the surrounding waters and track distant targets. Standing beside these impressive pieces of equipment gives us a better appreciation of the ship's advanced design and combat capabilities. Every part of this battleship was carefully positioned to protect the crew and support its missions across the world's oceans. We've now reached the conning tower, one of the most heavily armored sections of the battleship Iowa, BB-61, built to protect the ship's command team during combat. This fortress-like structure features an armored door that is approximately 17 inches thick and weighs about 5 tons. The incredible thickness and strength of the armor were designed to withstand enemy attacks while allowing officers to continue directing the ship during battle. Standing here, you can truly appreciate the engineering behind this remarkable defensive structure and the level of protection built into one of the world's most famous battleships. As we continue our tour, we arrive at the Admiral's Flag Bridge, an area reserved for the fleet's commanding admiral during major operations. Here, you'll see photographs of the admirals who once served aboard the battleship Iowa, BB-61, thoughtfully displayed on their respective chairs. This unique exhibit pays tribute to the leaders who commanded this legendary battleship and offers visitors a meaningful connection to the people who shaped its remarkable history. As we continue our tour, we join other visitors walking along the guided pathway, each of us exploring the many historic sections of the battleship Iowa, BB-61. It's exciting to see people from different places sharing the same curiosity and appreciation for this legendary vessel. Every turn reveals another important part of the ship, making the experience both educational and unforgettable. A little further ahead, we arrive at the navigation bridge, one of the most important command areas aboard the battleship. From here, officers guided the ship through the open ocean while monitoring its course and surrounding conditions. At first glance, the bridge has a similar appearance to the conning tower, with its heavy steel construction and strong protective armor. Although its primary role was navigation and command rather than direct defense, the robust design reflects the ship's emphasis on protecting its crew during operations. Standing here, it's easy to imagine officers scanning the horizon, issuing commands, and safely navigating this massive battleship through both peaceful voyages and challenging wartime missions. Every detail of the navigation bridge highlights the remarkable engineering and thoughtful design that made the USS Iowa one of the most capable and respected battleships of its time. As we step outside the navigation bridge, we are greeted by one of the most impressive views aboard the battleship Iowa, BB-61. From this elevated position, we get a complete view of the massive forward section of the vessel, including the 3 main gun turrets positioned along the front of the ship. Seeing these enormous naval guns from above gives a whole new perspective on the scale and power of this legendary battleship. Each turret represents the incredible engineering and firepower that made the Iowa-class battleships among the most powerful warships ever built. The size of these guns is difficult to fully understand until you see them up close and realize the amount of technology and strength required to operate them. Looking across the long open deck, you can see how carefully every section of the ship was designed and arranged. From this viewpoint, the combination of the armored structure, massive turrets, and endless stretch of steel creates a truly unforgettable scene. Standing here, we can imagine the crew members who once worked on these decks, preparing the ship for missions across the world's oceans. This view perfectly captures the power, history, and incredible scale of the USS Iowa. It is truly a remarkable moment during our journey through this historic battleship. As we continue walking forward along the marked pathway, we arrive at another impressive section of the battleship Iowa, BB-61, where we can see some of the advanced defense systems added during its later service years. First, we come across the AN/SLQ-32V3 electronic warfare system, which played an important role in detecting and responding to potential threats. This system helped the ship identify enemy radar signals and improved its ability to monitor the surrounding environment during missions. It shows how the USS Iowa was upgraded with modern technology even decades after its original construction. Moving further along, we can see the 5-inch gunfire control system, which supported the ship's secondary weapons operations. This system helped the crew accurately aim and control the powerful 5-inch guns for different combat situations. Continuing our walk, we reach the Phalanx Close-In Weapon System, CIWS, a highly advanced defensive system designed to provide the ship with additional protection against incoming threats. Its automated tracking and response capabilities made it an important part of the ship's final defense layer. Seeing these systems up close gives us a better understanding of how the battleship Iowa evolved throughout its service life. From World War II to the Cold War era, this legendary ship continued to adapt with new technology while remaining one of the most powerful battleships ever built. As we continue exploring the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, we now see the missile defense system designed to provide additional protection against incoming threats. This advanced technology helped detect and respond to potential missile attacks, adding another layer of defense to this powerful warship and showing how it was upgraded for modern naval warfare. As we continue our tour, we walk down toward one of the most powerful weapons added to the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, during its modernization, the Tomahawk armored box launchers. These launchers were installed during the 1980s to give the ship the ability to strike targets hundreds of miles away with precision-guided Tomahawk cruise missiles. Unlike the massive main guns that relied on large artillery shells, the Tomahawk missile system represented a new era of naval warfare. The armored launch boxes were built to securely store and protect the missiles from harsh weather and combat conditions until they were ready to be launched. Standing beside these launchers, it's easy to appreciate how the USS Iowa successfully combined its World War II heritage with modern military technology. The addition of the Tomahawk missile system transformed this historic battleship into a more versatile and capable warship, allowing it to remain effective well into the late 20th century. Seeing these launchers up close is a reminder of how naval technology evolved over the decades. They represent the ship's transition from traditional battleship firepower to advanced missile capabilities, making the USS Iowa not only a symbol of history, but also an example of continuous innovation in naval engineering. As we continue our tour, we now walk toward two of the Battleship Iowa's BB-61 most impressive weapons, the massive 16-inch main guns and the Harpoon anti-ship missile launchers. The giant 16-inch guns are the iconic symbol of the Iowa-class battleships. Each gun could fire armor-piercing or high-explosive shells weighing nearly a ton over distances of more than 20 miles, delivering tremendous firepower during World War II and the Korean War. Nearby, you'll also see the Harpoon anti-ship missile launchers, which were added during the ship's modernization in the 1980s. Unlike the traditional naval guns, these guided missiles were designed to engage enemy warships at long range with remarkable precision, giving the USS Iowa a powerful modern strike capability. Seeing these two generations of weapons side by side is truly fascinating. Together, they represent the evolution of naval warfare, from the enormous artillery guns of World War II to the advanced guided missile systems of the modern era, showcasing how the USS Iowa remained a formidable warship throughout its long and distinguished service. As we slowly make our way down through the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, we come across a display featuring Rosie the Riveter, one of the most recognizable symbols of World War II. The exhibit tells the story of the millions of women who stepped into industrial jobs, including shipbuilding and aircraft production, while many men were serving in the military. It's a fascinating piece of history that reminds us how important their contributions were to the war effort and how they helped shape the nation's success. As we continue our tour, a sightseeing boat slowly passes through the harbor with many visitors on board. all enjoying a great view of the Battleship Iowa BB-61 from the water, I couldn't help but pause for a moment and capture the scene from the ship. It was really cool to see people admiring this legendary battleship from a completely different perspective, making the visit feel even more special and memorable. We're now at the entrance to the 5-inch 38 upper handling room. Visitors aren't allowed inside, so I'm carefully placing the camera through the opening to give you a closer look. This room played an important role in supplying ammunition to the 5-inch guns, supporting the ship's operations during active service. As we step into the crew's living quarters, we get a closer look at where the sailors lived during their time aboard the Battleship Iowa BB-61. The first thing you'll notice is the rows of bunk beds, stacked closely together to make the best use of the limited space available. Although the sleeping areas look small and compact, they provided the crew with a place to rest after long hours of duty while the ship was at sea. Walking through this section, it's easy to imagine what daily life was like for the hundreds of sailors who called this battleship home. Every inch of space was carefully designed to be practical and efficient, allowing the crew to live and work together during extended deployments. You'll also find informative displays featuring photographs of sailors who served aboard the USS Iowa during World War II. These historic images help bring the ship's past to life and honor the people who served on it. Nearby, video monitors play interviews with former crew members, sharing their personal experiences and memories from their time at sea. Hearing their stories adds a personal touch to the visit, giving us a deeper appreciation of the sacrifices, teamwork, and dedication of the men who served aboard this legendary battleship. We're now entering the main galley, where hundreds of sailors were served their daily meals during life at sea. The kitchen has been beautifully preserved, making it feel as though we've stepped back in time. Looking at the cooking equipment, serving areas, and dining setup, it's easy to imagine the crew gathering here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner before returning to their duties. This is a wonderful glimpse into the everyday life of the men who served aboard the legendary Battleship Iowa BB-61. We also come across some vending machines placed along the way. These small details give us another interesting look into daily life aboard the ship, showing how sailors could access refreshments during their long missions at sea. Along with the historic kitchens and living areas, these additions help visitors imagine what everyday routines were like for the crew who served on this legendary battleship. As we continue along the guided pathway inside the Battleship Iowa BB-61, we come across the armored hatch that provided protection for the ship's critical engine areas. These heavily built structures were designed to safeguard important machinery and help maintain the ship's operation even during challenging conditions. Seeing these protective features gives us a better understanding of the careful engineering and planning that went into building this massive warship. Moving further, we reach the ship's bakery area, another fascinating part of daily life on board. Here, sailors prepared fresh pastries and baked goods using large commercial-style ovens and specialized equipment. It's amazing to think that even on a battleship designed for combat, there were dedicated spaces to support the crew's daily needs and maintain their morale during long deployments. Exploring these areas shows that the USS Iowa was not only a powerful fighting machine, but also a fully equipped home for hundreds of sailors at sea. As we continue our journey through the Battleship Iowa BB-61, we are now about to enter the serving counter area, where sailors once lined up to receive their daily meals. The museum has done an incredible job recreating the atmosphere by placing realistic figures of servers behind the counter, giving visitors the feeling of stepping back in time. It almost feels like we are watching sailors moving through the queue, waiting patiently to collect their breakfast lunch, or dinner before returning to their duties. Along the serving area, we can also see the original setup and a displayed food menu that gives us an idea of what meals were offered on board. Looking at the menu makes you curious about what sailors experienced during their long journeys at sea. It would have been amazing to actually taste a meal from the ship, but unfortunately, we were not lucky enough to find any food service available during our visit. These small details make the tour even more special, because they help us imagine the daily routines, teamwork, and discipline that kept life running smoothly for hundreds of sailors aboard this legendary battleship. It's a unique glimpse into the human side of naval history. As we enter the dining area aboard the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, we get another glimpse into the daily life of the sailors who served on this historic vessel. This was the place where hundreds of crew members gathered to enjoy their meals, relax briefly, and share moments together during long missions at sea. Standing here, it's easy to imagine how busy this area must have been during wartime, filled with sailors moving through the space, discussing their duties, and preparing for the challenges ahead. The preserved tables, seating areas, and overall setup help bring those memories back to life. It's a powerful reminder that behind this massive war machine were thousands of dedicated sailors who lived, worked, and served together on board. As we continue exploring the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, we now enter the print shop, an interesting area that supported the daily operations of the ship. This was where important documents, notices, schedules, and other printed materials were prepared for the crew. Seeing the original equipment here gives us a better understanding of how communication and information were managed on board before modern digital technology. Moving further along, we enter the laundry repair room, where sailors maintain and repaired clothing and uniforms to keep everything in good condition during long deployments. Next, we come across the ironing room, which features large industrial-sized equipment used to press and maintain uniforms and other fabrics. It's impressive to see how much effort went into keeping the crew's clothing clean, organized, and ready for daily duties. Continuing the tour, we reach the laundry area, where large washing machines and dryers were used to handle the enormous amount of laundry generated by hundreds of sailors living aboard the ship. These facilities played an important role in maintaining hygiene and comfort during extended missions at sea. Exploring these areas reminds us that the USS Iowa was more than just a powerful battleship. It was a complete floating community with all the essential services needed to support the crew. Every room tells a story about the planning, teamwork, and dedication required to keep this legendary vessel operating smoothly. As we move away from the laundry area, we continue exploring more sections that reveal the everyday life of the crew aboard the Battleship Iowa, BB-61. Along the way, we come across the officers' rooms, which provide another glimpse into the living spaces used by the ship's leadership. These areas were designed to offer officers a private space to rest, plan operations, and manage their responsibilities during long deployments. Continuing forward, we reach the barber shop, a unique part of the ship that supported the personal needs of the sailors. Even while at sea for extended periods, crew members had access to services that helped them maintain their appearance and stay prepared for their duties. Seeing these areas reminds us that the USS Iowa was not only a powerful warship, but also a fully functioning community. From living quarters to personal care facilities, every space was carefully planned to support the thousands of sailors who served aboard this historic vessel. From here, we enter a small museum area inside the Battleship Iowa, BB-61, where we can learn even more about the ship's incredible history. Inside, we find displays featuring interesting facts about the USS Iowa, along with a detailed scale model of the battleship preserved inside a glass case. The exhibit also showcases other historic naval vessels, including ironclad ships that represent earlier generations of naval technology. This section provides a great opportunity to understand how battleships evolved over time, and how engineering advancements shaped the future of naval warfare. It's a fascinating addition to the overall tour experience. As we continue our tour of the Battleship Iowa BB-61, we come across some remarkable displays that show the incredible strength and durability of this historic warship. First, we see a damaged hatch cover that was preserved and placed on display for visitors. This piece carries the marks of its wartime service and gives us a real example of the kind of protection built into the ship. Even after decades, it remains a powerful reminder of the intense conditions these vessels experienced. Moving further along the pathway, we see the powder hoist operator shield, which was designed to protect crew members while handling ammunition for the ship's powerful guns. The museum has made this area accessible for visitors to view and understand the important safety features used during operations. Continuing ahead, we also come across a fan motor controller that was damaged during wartime service. Looking closely at this equipment, you can appreciate the thick metal construction and rugged design that helped it withstand extreme conditions. These displays provide a deeper understanding of the battleship's engineering and the challenges faced by the sailors who operated it. Every damaged component tells a story of strength, protection, and the resilience of the USS Iowa throughout its long service history. As we continue our journey through the Battleship Iowa BB-61, we are now entering the souvenir shop, the final stop where visitors can take home a special memory from this incredible experience. The shop is filled with a variety of USS Iowa-themed items, including t-shirts, cups, hats, models, books, and many other collectibles that celebrate the history of this legendary battleship. Walking through the store, you can see how much effort has been made to preserve the legacy of the USS Iowa and share its story with future generations. Each item represents more than just a souvenir. It carries a connection to the ship, the sailors who served on board, and the important moments this battleship witnessed throughout history. Visitors have the opportunity to purchase something meaningful as a reminder of their tour, whether it's a small gift for family and friends or a personal keepsake from their visit. The proceeds from the shop also help support the ongoing preservation, maintenance, and educational efforts that keep this historic vessel open to the public. After walking through the decks, exploring the living spaces, and learning about the ship's incredible journey, ending the tour here feels like a perfect way to remember the experience. The souvenir shop allows everyone to take a small piece of USS Iowa history home while helping ensure this remarkable battleship continues to inspire visitors for many years to come. As we come out from the souvenir shop, we arrive at our final showcase area aboard the Battleship Iowa BB-61. Here we see a special display featuring the dog statue, which represents a memorable part of the ship's history. This beloved mascot became part of the USS Iowa's story decades ago, reminding visitors that behind this powerful warship were also moments of friendship, tradition, and the human side of life at sea. Continuing along the deck, we reach another fascinating area featuring the Chinook helicopter landing pad. A Chinook helicopter is displayed here, giving visitors a chance to imagine how such a large aircraft could land on the deck of this massive battleship. Seeing the helicopter positioned on the ship creates a unique perspective on the versatility and capabilities of the USS Iowa. This final section brings together different chapters of naval history, showing not only the ship's combat power, but also the many roles and experiences that made this legendary vessel truly remarkable. At the end of our tour, we found a special donation box containing small wooden pieces from the USS Iowa BB-61. Visitors can take one as a keepsake by making a $5 donation, helping support the preservation of this historic ship. Thank you all for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to support my journey and future videos.